Back here in service after stage 15, we're all very eager to see what's happened in the open class after they left here 1/10 of a second apart. So this is the quickest way we're going to find out that information. You'll see there's some serious faces here. It's kind of how the game goes. We might see some folks don't want to talk to us right now. Understandable. We're going to step up to that screen ourselves and see what kind of story there is to tell at that point. Yeah, it's like maybe a typical reporter would going to go grab people and get in their face, and I just can't do it. As a driver, sometimes you don't want to be bugged by people. You want to focus, you want to get your job done, figure out what you've got to do to get the position you want for the rest of the night. JB Nide approaching from Rally America there in the background. He's got some serious work to get done. I'll tell you the short story. So after stage 12, looks like a 4-second gap. Stage 12 was the second. Well, Fast Eddie McNeely built that car, and that's a good thing, so he already knows how to work on it, because it looks like it's going to need a little bit of service now that he's rolled the thing over. I'm happy to see it is on its wheels. It appeared to be driving okay, even with the body damage. So do you want to go see if we can grab Eddie really quick? Let's do that. While it's fresh on his mind what happened out there while he was flying along. See, Chris's car is here up on jack stands. Chris came by after Lachlan O'Sullivan, as we saw in the video, really moving. Something's happened for Travis Hansen. This caused him to be back just a little way. Let's see what I can find out from Eddie. Where did Eddie go?
He'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. So, like I said, again, Fast Eddie and his crew got some work to do to make sure that car is healthy enough to make it through the rest of the event. The tires all appear to be facing the same direction. I would imagine the car is plenty drivable. We just want to keep it from losing any more parts and maybe try to limit the amount of dust coming into the car. You see the rear window missing actually creates a really nasty opportunity for a ton of dust to move its way up through the cabin. So while we're quickly trying to bring you a few stories, let's go see if we can get a short one. Maybe we can get a summation here from Oli. Oli, 10 seconds maybe? Where did things end up getting bent?
When we kind of backed into a tree, but I didn't realize we backed into a tree.
Okay.
But
so you stopped to get coffee and you were backing out of your parking spot and there was a tree there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Was it end of a long, fast section where the road's different, or how did things go wrong?
No, we were really pushing hard to stay ahead of ACP, and we had a very, very good stage 13.
Mm-hmm.
Stage 14, he was pushing about the same. Just got a tiny bit too wide on a corner, and the loose stuff was looser than everywhere else, and it just caused the car to snap around, and at that point we were along for the ride. So
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Oli. We'll let
Okay.
you attend to business. Thanks
you.
a lot.
Okay.
So Oli riding with Fast Eddie there. He said the loose stuff is looser. What he means is on the outside of the line, earlier I showed you how a line clears up as tires roll across it and slide and blow the loose gravel away. Well, that loose gravel kind of adds up on the edge, but sometimes it's a little deeper than anticipated. And while maybe at times you could drive into that loose stuff and not suffer too much of a penalty, sounds like they might have gotten a rear tire, a set of rear tires out in the loose stuff, and it was looser than anticipated, and they just didn't have the grip to keep the car on the road. Glad to see neither one of them are hurt. Another testament to safety and security of, I guess, the Ford Fiesta and the additional safety equipment we use as rallyists to make sure we're safe in what we do. Okay, let's go back to the time. No, I'm sorry. Let's go see Travis Hansen. You give me, a driver, this job, you know I can't focus on anything for more than about 30 moments, seconds, 10 seconds. Hi, Travis. The story goes on. We don't know what that is. We're hoping you'll help tell us. So you left here in the lead of super production. You came back in. I saw Lachlan go by. then Chris, and then you came by. What were your problems?
We went out and did the super specials, did great there. On the very next stage, I exited a corner. It was in a straightaway, but it was in the straightaway with the sun right in my face and the dust and everything, so I got a little bit off to the right, and I hit a rock, both right side tires flat. So I finished the stage. I put our one spare on the right front, and then begged, the next 10 cars for a tire. And Roman Pacos, thank you. I won't name the people that didn't give me a tire.
We can look at the sheet and figure it out. Everybody in front of Roman Pacos, we know who you are.
But yeah, we put that spare on, and then the next stage, the motor overheated all the way pegged red. So the head.
That was stage 15.
Yep, the head gasket's probably shot, but as long as we put water to it after every stage, we've done this before. This is kind of a super production type thing, so we'll just keep putting water to it. We'll limp it home. As long as it didn't get too hot for too long, it should survive.
Do you know how far did you have to drive on 2 flats?
Oh, it must have been most of the stage. It's pretty hard to turn right when you got no tires on one side. It was really good going in the left. I would go down the straightaways. The problem was when I braked really hard, one side gripped a lot better than the other, and all of a sudden I was pointed at the trees, and it went to hell pretty fast.
And that's rally, as you learned last night from Antoine Lestage. Well, sorry to see you've had a little bit of bad luck there. I bet you've still got some positions you could salvage and points you can salvage in SP, and I'm sure you're eager to do that.
Yeah, I think we're still in second, and as long as we end on the podium, we'll be pretty happy.
Wow, he had such a good first set of stages. He's still in second place, having endured all that. So, well, we wish you luck, Travis. Thanks.
You.
We'll see you later.
Have a good one.
All right. That's how quick it can change. Here you are, kicking butt for 2 days. Everything's going perfect. And then you get the sun in your eyes when you didn't expect it. And there's 2 flat tires, and all of a sudden the engine's overheating, maybe from the additional drag of driving on 2 flat tires. Who knows what caused it, but that's how quickly the tables change in rally. And because of how quickly the tables change and how much risk all the drivers are putting out there, that's what makes these close battles so interesting. We all know how quickly it can go wrong, yet we're pushing those limits as much as possible. Craig, can we have just a word or two? Cool. I don't know if our audience has properly met Craig Drew before. Craig Drew, co-driver with David Higgins, fighting for the lead here. Have you seen the summation of stages through stage?
I know where we lie at the moment, yeah.
Would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, sure, yeah. We're lying second at the moment. We're 12.6 seconds behind Ken, who's leading. We've had some issues with bogey times on the last loop of stages. We've both beaten the bogey times on a couple of stages because the stages are so fast. So we're averaging over 80 mile an hour basically on the stages. We've had terrible issues with dust this afternoon. Even though we have a 2-minute gap, luckily at the front, the dust is still blinding at times. So I think they worked on getting a 3-minute gap for us this evening because it's always worse at night. But I think it's still going to be a big disadvantage for us for sure.
Is there a specific stage or moment you think gave away those times? Did you guys have a spin or anything because of the dust?
We had a spin first thing this morning, but no, this afternoon, just very, very fast stages, but you're coming up, even though you've got faith in your notes, if you can't see where you're going, you're always going to naturally back off a little bit. And there's times when we're having a flat crest 200, and on the crest you're still kind of backing off a bit because you're not quite sure where you are. Obviously, if you're first car on the road and you haven't got those issues, you know everything's flat because you can see it. So I think that's generally where we're losing our time.
We appreciate your time. We know you got stuff to do. Thanks a lot, Craig.
Go back home.
Should have given him an opportunity to say hi. He's a new father. I'm sure he's got a child. Sorry, Craig. I don't know if it's boy or girl at this time, but I'm sure he would have said, I'd love to say hello to everybody at home. I'll even find out. I don't know if that's Wales or the rest of England. Maybe we'll go look at some times. So that's interesting. Let me tell you really quick about the high average speed. In the past, we used to have these really big restrictors that let a lot of air into the engine, and we had these super fast engines, and we were seeing, stop right there, we were seeing super high speeds, but the danger was going up pretty significantly as a result. Mason Moyle, everybody. So now, whenever we get an average speed that's over, it's 80 or 85 miles an hour average, everyone gets the same time as if you basically averaged 80 or 85 miles an hour, whatever that is. So that is to say, even if you actually averaged 90 miles an hour on the stage and went faster, your time is going to be equalized. So it's possible that everybody could make the bogey time and then end up with identical stage times as a result. So more on that later or as needed. Let's cruise on over here and see a little bit more of the story. If we can get a gap here in front of the times. It takes a second to look at these things to be able to tell the story accurately, so I'm trying to take all that in right now. Okay. Wow. So Travis and Lachlan, you guys are still in a race.
They don't have our penalties on there yet. I wouldn't say that we're in
I meant to ask you if you got penalties. You got some penalties.
Around 10 minutes late to the stage after the 2 flats.
So
we had to bag so many cars, remember?
yes. I actually meant to ask you that. So for each minute late, you get a 12-second penalty, right?
I think it's 10 seconds. Right?
Oh, is it 10 seconds?
10 second
Okay.
penalty for every minute we were late. Yep.
So there's over a minute there that'll be added for Travis.
But that just kind of switches Lachlan and I, and that's it.
Yep. So by 3 seconds on this last stage, Ken got David Higgins. What an interesting story. This We're putting in some stage times that are really good competition with Christoph. All right, let's go cruise around and interview a few teams. Honestly, I don't know if I can talk into this thing and look at you guys and do all the figuring out of what those times mean at the same time. Here we go. We'll go see if Ken or David are standing outside of their pits up there. We know Chris's jolly story. Chris, how's it going? Oh, you know, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm just holding her down, holding her pin the whole time and zooming along. So thanks, Chris. We've heard the story already. We get it. You're having a blast and kicking a lot of butt. Status quo for Chris Duplessis. Like I said, Ed McNeely was really going for it. He and ACP have had that fight. Like I said earlier when we were in service, we're waiting to see who was going to be able to charge back and take second place in two-wheel drive. I'm going to go find ACP in a little bit and ask him that story. Earlier I also said today you'd rather be you'd rather be second or third on the road and not have to clear the stage in return and not have to worry about the dust, or basically deal with the dust and not have to worry about clearing the stage. It turns out that was not the right way to go about it, or it wasn't the best advantage. It turns out being first and not having to worry about any of the dust was the best way to go, or is at least paying off for Ken right now. I don't see Ken out here yet. This is the time of day also that it really starts to penalize you when you don't eat well. I promise you, all these drivers are inside trying to get some food in them right now before the last couple of stages to end the rally. So as is no surprise, David's inside eating some blueberry cobbler, I believe, Kara. Let's see about Christoph. Okay, we'll go see Christoph. Oh, and Joel Levac. I've been wanting to interview him. And Lachlan O'Sullivan. We've got all kinds of folks to talk to sitting up here on the back side of the service area. Hi, Scott. That's Scott co-driving for Lachlan O'Sullivan. He could probably tell us part of that story, but he's obviously in a hurry to go see the stage times. He's the one that's going to double check that all of the penalties that Travis Hansen just told us that he thinks he has, well, Scott's going to make sure he gets those and that they add up correctly. Excuse me, is Joel around? Can I talk to him? Joel? Yeah, Joel. Are you Joel? I haven't met you yet. No. I'm Matthew Johnson.
Joel.
Nice to meet you, Joel. Where you're from Quebec?
Yeah.
Are you running the whole championship?
No, not all, but I try a couple events, and maybe next year try to do all the season. But I do some event in Canada and some in US, so to make more mileage and more fun in the car. So.
Good. Well, we're happy to have him here. I really was impressed at Snowdrift. We could see you really charging around there. And then here you've been on a charge. Now, I saw some duct tape this morning, and I saw a photo last night of a little bit of a banged-up Subaru. What happened last night?
What happened? Too much dust, running with a car fast like this, only 1 minute interval. So I have a left 6, and after that, you have at the same place you have a example enter for a ranch. So I go there and I hit the fence of the guy.
Is it because visually you couldn't tell where to go?
No.
Okay.
So I hit there, and after that I restart, but the hood pop up.
In several places and several stories we've covered in the event, we've seen that dust really does make an impact in the event. Well, we're happy to see you here. What year? This is a Vermont-built car, right?
Yes, 2008.
2008?
Yeah.
It's one of the cars Travis or Ken drove in the past, maybe?
Travis, the shell, yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well, we're happy to see you here. Is the car running successfully today?
Yeah, not bad. I have a big impact, a little impact, but broke a suspension this side, so lose time, but it's life, it's rally.
That's not the first time we've heard that. Antoine said, that's rally last night as well. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
We'll see you again sometime.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Joel Levac. Is that the way I say it? This Southern boy maybe should have paid more attention in language class, and I could say more of these names. You might look at the list actually and realize how international rallying is. Not just in the U.S. Everywhere you go in the world, there's tons of folks from random countries all together, running and competing together. See, is he? Do you want to see if he wants to talk? So we'll see if we can get Christoph and see his big smiling face and see if he's having fun still out here. And then we'll go and check in on Lachlan and Super Production, his Mitsubishi. All right. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, thank you. We saw you at the end of 15, where it's, you know, some crest and some turns with ditches and stuff. You looked very clean. I think I could see you smiling when you drove by.
It's true. It's true. When you see the fantastic road, when you see that the car is on the control, it's very nice. But of course, the feeling to push properly, 100%, is still not there. It's still not inside. You know, it's a very fast road here. It's not easy to control everything by the car, because if you go out from the lane, it's easy to make a proper sideway. And
we have a crashed car over there. They got in the loose and over, but back to the wheels and made it here.
It's better to keep our third position. Sorry for the third, but it's better to keep it and go to the end.
No, I agree with you, and actually that's what I've said. Like, you haven't shown up with the horsepower in the car to match those guys, but you've driven cleanly and just enjoyed the event, and you've got a nice looking car still. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
nice
you very
to have
much.
you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
All right. All right, let's see if we can catch Lachlan and add to this details about the Super Production battle. Hopefully we'll see Christoph again here. He seems like he's having fun. I'm sure he's made lots of friends. Maybe we'll ask Seamus Burke in a minute about how he pushed everybody off that tree. We told you about the open lights cars that crashed into the tree earlier. Gotcha. Hey, you're my best buddy. Blaze, how are you, sir?
Good.
All right.
How are you?
One of the very common mechanics we see at many rallies. But how do I say your last name, Blaze?
Polachuk.
Polachuk. I've never said it correctly ever then. Blaze Polachuk. Nice to see you. All right, we're here to talk to Lachlan. No offense, Blaze. Lachlan, so there we were at the end of stage 15, end of stage 15, watching a couple cars come by, and I'm like, you know, we're going to watch one more car come by. It's probably going to be Travis.
Right.
Yeah. And who was it?
Me.
Well, so some things happened.
I don't know exactly what happened to Travis. All we know.
can tell you that story in a minute.
Okay. So I got to the end of a stage, and it looked like he was changing a tire. After talking to his dad for a second, and we had to take off because there was a real short transit between the two. They wanted our only tire.
Remember, he said a lot of people drove by him and wouldn't give him a tire?
I was one. We had our own tire issues and still have our own tire issues. There was a big mix-up from the beginning about rights and lefts, and we screwed ourselves from the get-go. So our one issue was that we had a tire issue. We had one spare, and we had 2 stages left with 14 miles to go. And we already knew we were on really worn tires. So I felt really, really bad to tell Terry no. And then I had my navigator, Scott, yelling in my ear, we got to go, because it's a super short transit. It was like 3 miles down, and we had no time to even get out of the car. We wanted to change the tire. I was just going to use that used tire for just that 10-miler and then change out the spare for that because I thought it would be a little bit better. But it turned out we didn't have time to do that. And that's what I told Terry at the time. We're going to use it. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I got to.
Hey, even for folks that you're really good buddies with and you want to help out, if you've got 14 stage miles to do and you're having a successful rally and you've got one spare, it's just hard to give that up unless they're a proper teammate and they're the same money's paying for both teams.
I mean,
maybe.
I've done it before, and if we had 2 new tires in the front and we were raring to go, I would have done it. He would have done it for me. It was just a bad combination of that was our one issue. We just didn't have the excess tire to give to him. But the good thing is we finally found out that our fuel injector was bad all rally long, and we finally got power back.
Power's back.
Yeah, so car shifting points, as you know, when you come into a corner, you actually pick the gear before you kind of power through the corner. And the whole makeup of the car is different now, and I'm relearning how to drive the car, and it's a lot more fun. It was fun before, but now it's even a step above that. So
now you know it's performing the way you anticipated that it would, and you can drive as quick as you can and thought you could in a super production car.
You got it. And it was like that for the first half of this first stage. And all we know, it's our first gravel rally in this car, and we knew right away we lost power, but we couldn't figure it out for the longest time.
So I'll tell you really quick, Travis exited a corner, not a complicated corner, onto a straightaway, saw sun and dust, and just let the car track out a bit too wide, got 2 right side flats. So he had 1 spare to put in the front, and he had to wait till, gosh, who gave him a tire? Sorry, I already forgot who gave him. Yeah, Roman Pacos gave him a tire, but he had to wait for 10 cars to do that. So it looks like you guys are tied on time, but he's got some penalties coming because of the amount of time. He was almost 10 minutes late into the next check-in. So, yeah, he's still in second place in super production, and you've still got to drive a clean rally the rest of the night because he will be right there.
Yeah, for sure. It's too bad because I hate that to happen because we really, with the extra power, we wanted kind of a showdown with these last 5 stages. And that's rallying, I guess. I mean, it happens to us all.
Yeah, we hear that come in a lot as well. Well, before we go, we're going to try to catch up with you at the end of the event. But before we go now, I'd like to ask you if you have anybody you'd like to thank for helping you be here.
Lucas Oil and Maury's dealerships. They've been very supportive the last 2 years, and we continuing on with them, and we really, really appreciate them.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Lachlan.
Thanks.
We wish you luck. We'll see you later, brother. Okay. All right, we're going to cruise on back down the boardwalk. Guess we'll call it the boardwalk? I'll call it the boardwalk. Wait, boardwalk's in front of oceans. Maybe we won't call it the boardwalk, but we will walk on down the road here. See if we can find a few things to help build the rest of our competition story. Some of you might have noticed we're operating on a little bit of delay at this rally. So I'm not able to play with you off of text and Twitter updates and all that just quite as effectively as we did at Snowdrift. But we're going to bring that back. We're going to make sure that's part of our event at Oregon. Here at Missouri, we're doing the best we can with the technology we've got, which is still pretty cool stuff. So what have we learned here in just this service? We've learned that there is a maximum speed you can go on the stages, and after you're beyond that speed, you don't get credit for taking that extra risks. Those extra risks. Not many cars are able to achieve that speed, But let's say David has a stage of his life and averages 95 miles an hour on that stage. He's only going to get credit for averaging 85 on that stage. Even if Ken only averaged 87 and David had done far better, he's not going to get full credit for that. Not specifically because it's David, it's the way our rules work in the sport. Yeah, let's get see if we can get a good just camera shot of Ken's car in action and being repaired.
Wpadłem, taki kurwa chłopaczek był tam ode mnie kurwa siłowni. Ja mówię, co tam kurwa, a ten tak stanął, kurwa, myślałem, że kurwa, wiesz, obraziłem Stał i patrzył na mnie, że gubi jakiś tam.
Skid plate going back on. You'll see how huge that skid plate is. Not that one, front of the car. You see how huge that skid plate is. It's twice as long as the majority of plates. This car is so specially built. They've moved weight down low in the car to have it handle better. Taken weight out of the top and midsections of the car. Definitely a car designed completely around going as fast as possible. So you can see Alex sitting in the car. Maybe we can get a zoom up on Alex in the car. What that tells us is that there's not that much time before they leave. You can see the lights are already mounted on the front. Alex has his books in front of him. Alex is holding his time card. On his time card, he knows exactly what time his car's got to roll into the exit control. He's the guy that'll start blowing the horn, slamming doors, and making a commotion if that car's not on its tires here in just a minute or two and ready to pull back out for the last set of stages. Yep, there we go. There's Ken in the car. There is a focused team, very eager to keep that 12-second gap they've got right now and capitalize on it. Let's go and take a picture of David as he jumps in his car as well. I got to tell you the other thing. From history, I know that we're going to move to the right here. So from history, I know that driving at night is not Ken's favorite time of the day to be driving. Now, the advantage for Ken, obviously, is that he's in the front still. He's not having dust issues the way the others are. The advantage for Dave is he has more experience driving in the dark. So he might be able to use that advantage to take some of the time back. Or David might at this point decide the risk is not worth it and just be in it to finish the rally competitively with a clean car and no damage and ready to go to Oregon. David, can you give us 10 words or less about your plans for the next couple stages?
It's going to be 100% dust dependent. If there's no dust, then I think it's game on. If we hit the dust like we had for the last 3 stages, then it's going to be too big a risk to risk it. But we'll see what happens. I'm happy in the dark. I like the dark. I've had some good times in the dark. But obviously, when you get the dust thrown in with it, it's when we've got a championship opportunity to pull some big points here. We've got to have that in mind as well. But the last few say were horrendous, the dust. But we're not giving in. We're going to make it hard for the guy anyway. That's the main thing.
We appreciate the entertainment. We wish you luck. Have fun. Cheers, David. All right. They'll be firing that car up and headed out of here just in a moment. Jerry Brownell, I am sorry. Jerry, that is a front-wheel drive car like you told me. So yesterday I said, let's get over here. Let's get moving. Yesterday, I said that Gerald Truis's and Jerry Brownell's old car was a rear-wheel drive. I'm just not old enough to know that an old Citation is front-wheel drive after all. So I was wrong. I was also wrong to say the thing had a head gasket problem because it did not. So I apologize to all the viewers for that. Really cool car, though, with a lot of history, built by Guy Light. In fact, I looked at the skid plate design of that very car when I was building the skid plate for my Volkswagen. Here we go, David leaving the pits. As I was anticipating to do with David, honestly, if it's dusty, there's few people in the world that could drive through the dust and make up 12 seconds advantage on a hard-charging Ken block like that. Being dust-free for Ken, he's also very focused. It's going to be still an excellent race here through the end. But what you heard David say there that was key was, I like the dark. He does like the dark. He's got a lot of practice in it. I think he does have an option. If somehow the set of stages that they're about to run are in a bit more of a clearing, less hills, maybe the wind is still blowing enough to move the dust out of the way, and David might not have such a hard time really keeping the serious pressure on Ken the full time. Why don't we go and see some two-wheel drive folks before they load back up. Love the view. One of the things I used to absolutely love about rallying was the service area, when just all the commotion of all the cars going everywhere, people working on, I don't know, changing gearboxes, swapping tires, fixing brakes, and random body things hanging off the car with zip ties and duct tape and all that jazz. I love the smell and the sound of all the generators running all over the place. Say again? We're going to cruise over here. Like I said, again, the person that might help us tell the two-wheel drive story the best, I mean, one, because he speaks well, but also because he's in the middle of this battle for trying to get second place in two-wheel drive. We'll see if we can grab ACP again. He was a little smiley last time I saw him. I don't know if he was super stoked. It is getting dark. I honestly did not anticipate that we were finishing this late at night tonight, so it's definitely going to be battling with the lights on in the dark. Where's Andrew?
Just over there. Is he over there? Actually, maybe I'm wandering off.
He didn't leave. Where did he leave? Bathroom?
That doesn't look like
Okay, cool. I haven't met you yet. What's your name?
Yeah, Brian.
Brian?
Yeah.
Talk to Brian.
No, don't talk to me. My throat's totally gone. I can't.
Brian doesn't want to talk to us because he's been working hard. He seems like a nice enough guy. He's just worn out. He's been running his mouth all day long, and he doesn't want to overtax his voice right here when he's got a couple more stages and a little bit more work to do. We wish you luck, Brian, regardless.
Thank you.
See if I can get ACP and get the story here. If we can't get him, who can we talk to? Hi there. He's got his vest on. He's ready to be here. We're going to go speak to the Finnish folks, the Finnish guys in the BMW. The driver uses hand controls to drive that car, and it's an automatic 318T, not a TI, 318i. Anyway, we'll talk to that driver in a few minutes. We'll see if we can get Mason Moyle right now. We haven't caught up with him yet this event. Where's Mason? Well, thank you. Oh, there he is. I see him. Come talk to me. Sure he heard that, right? Here, let's get it beside his car maybe. Yeah. What's up, Mason? How are you? Stand over here. So I haven't been able to watch a lot of your stage times, but are you having fun? How's the car? What's happening?
I'm having a great time. We're in third in super production right now. We have 14 miles left tonight, and we're hoping to keep that in celebrating Salem.
Okay, cool. Of those 14 miles, how many stages are there?
2 stages.
Okay, and they're probably between here and Salem. You'll run those on your way back or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. We ran stage 16 last night, so hopefully we can be a little quicker through there tonight.
And back here in your super production car, I'm sure you're having a little more fun here than you did at Snowdrift. What are some of the differences, and what are you learning about this car as you get used to it?
It's a whole lot faster than my old car.
Really?
Yeah, wicked fast. It's been a lot of fun getting used to it and adjusting to how to take the corners with it and everything else.
How closely do you pay attention to what's going on in the front of super production, and do you change your driving style any to try to make an attack when an opportunity might be there?
No, I think we're going to go out with the same game plan we've had all day and try to maintain third, and if something may happen in the front, well, then we'll get second. But we're pretty happy with third.
Do you know where Travis? What about? Sorry, do you know Travis Hansen's story of a couple flats and some of his struggles?
Yeah, he's had a couple troubles the last few stages, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, part of the sport.
Like to see that.
Yeah, you never. And we were saying that earlier. You don't want to win as a mechanical fault of another. You just want to have a proper race. So even if you're handing one of your closest competitors a part that allows them to keep driving, it allows the race to unfold where it should. Where's that?
Exactly.
On the stages.
Yeah.
Right. Cool, Mason. We'll catch you in Salem. We wish you a lot of luck. Have fun.
Thank you very much.
All right. Cool. Thanks, Mason. Also, Mason's car looks very clean still. He has not been driving in the woods. He's been avoiding the trees successfully. One of these days, I'll actually make a plan and a shot list, and I'll know who I'm going to go talk to and when. But until then, you get to walk around the service area with me as I figure that out. Let's, there's Andrew. Let's grab him for just a sec. Andrew, can we, 10 seconds maybe? 10 seconds. Does he have 10? Yeah, he's got 10. Yep. All right, here with ACP. We talked to him a lot earlier about the two-wheel drive battle. Are you in second place? Where are you? What do you want to do?
Yeah, we're in second place. Unfortunately, we were right behind McNally when he rolled. More unfortunate for him, but we lost a bunch of time in his dust. So we've had 3 consecutive legs of following somebody broken in the dust. But the car's hauling ass, and we're pushing hard, and we did haul up into second. So now the thing is, the 3 of us, second, third, and fourth, are covered by 8 seconds. Yeah, we're in second. 7 seconds back is Dylan Van Way, and 1 second back to him is McNally. So we have 15 miles left, and we're wide open.
Hey, hammer down. Good luck. We'll see you in Salem. Thanks for the time. Awesome. Hey, that's fantastic. We've got a super two-wheel drive battle going on here. That's great with several Fords and a Scion XD there with ACP and Mr. Williamson, is it? I haven't met him yet. Yeah, I did, but I forgot his name already. Like I said. Okay. Hey, speaking of the two-wheel drive battle, let's go check in with Chris Greenhouse and see if he's around here. Chris! Chris! Can you see us? Okay, cool. Hey, Chris.
Hey,
my name's Matthew.
Matthew.
Nice to meet you.
It's strange we keep meeting in these places, don't we? Yeah.
Tell us how your car's... What'd you do with your bumper? Are you trying to shed weight?
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm pushing really hard. Figured we would just take that bumper off and just get rid of it here for the last 2 stages. You know, we're really going for it here on the last 2.
I haven't been able to see your times. How's your day going? Is it going how you anticipated? And are you trying to catch anybody?
Not really trying to catch anyone right now. Just trying to keep from making stupid mistakes like I did here already.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got a couple little mistakes there. Nothing too bad. We were on Pigeon and we got away with one on Pigeon here. We were going really fast and spun and went backwards into something and I don't know how we didn't hurt ourselves.
Oh, is that why the bumper's missing then?
Yeah. It was from a spin on a very fast section. I just got a little, just couldn't figure out where the road was going. The dust was very, very bad, and couldn't see where the road was going. And yeah, I got away with a biggie there. So really got away with a big one. Yeah.
We saw a couple other bumpers that came off in the water crossings and such. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adam Knipp, who's co-driving for Christian Carlson, was nice enough to tell me that they mowed down my bumper as it was laying in the middle of the stage.
Made sure your bumper was in pieces. No question of whether you should zip tie that one back together and stick it back on the car or not, right?
Yeah, we got the license plate on there, so we're road legal, and we'll just go out like that. So
I got a little bit of other inside information about you. You have purchased another Dodge Neon, the SRT.
Yes. Decided to go to an SRT4 for later in the year. We hope to debut that at Susquehannock Trail, Pennsylvania in June.
Are you coming out west for Oregon?
I probably will not come to Oregon. I'll probably have to sit that one out. The next car is quite a bit more than this car in terms of power, and it just does a whole lot of stuff differently. So I want to get in a little bit of testing before I go out and compete with the thing. So I got to get the thing set up for me a little bit. Seating position right now is different. The guy who owns it is much larger than I am, so I need to do different things with seats and whatnot. So I got to get the seating position, a whole lot of other things kind of set up for me. But yeah, look for us to have a turbocharged car by later in the year.
I'm eager to see that. Chris has been really fast in this Group 2 car with a lot less power than some of the others he's keeping up with. He's gotten himself one of the fastest two-wheel drive cars that's ever competed in the U.S. and he's really going to be making some tracks at STPR in Pennsylvania.
Spoken like a guy who definitely knows how to pedal a two-wheel drive car fast. I've seen old video of you back in a Golf, and yeah, you were putting it down in that little Golf.
Thanks. I appreciate the recognition. All right, good luck for the rest of the night. We'll see you later. All right. Chris Greenhouse. Awesome. We'll go get Sam. Mr. Caltech. See what's happening with him in the open lights race. I see what's happening. They got shirts for sale, music pumping, the car artistically lit to see the excellent paint. I can't believe how clean this operation is. What are you having, a car show over here?
It's the way we roll, man.
Seriously?
It's just the way we roll.
Where's Samir? Is he hanging out?
I think he went to talk to another driver.
Okay.
He's pretty excited.
Probably about what to do when I can't see. Yeah, what do I do when the dust turns on and I can't see anything?
It's on.
Yeah, cool.
He's pretty excited, guys.
Thanks, Don. Matthew Marker's father, everybody. Cool. At this time, I'd love to go grab our folks in the BMW. I've been meaning to get by there. We're going to be losing all of the available light here in just a second. The story I love to show is that these folks are not letting any physical handicaps keep them from being out here having fun, sliding cars around and going fast. We saw them yesterday really causing some trouble around a hairpin. Let's get down here. Hey, formerly, I'm Matthew Johnson.
Yari. Hi.
Yari?
Yari.
Yari. Nice to meet you, Yari. How's your afternoon going? How's the rally going for you now?
Surprisingly good. I think the car is first time ever on the stages this weekend. I actually drove the car first time on gravel on our way to the first stage.
Oh, wow. So no testing of this car on gravel until he's on the way to the first stage. That's why we were probably hearing the brakes locking up in the front, because you had no time to adjust it.
Yeah, and as everything is stock, it's quite impossible to adjust anything. We still have the ABS block and all on place, so.
Wow, he's driving that well around the limits of all of the normal controls that get removed from a rally car. Can you tell us about your hand controls and how they work? Do you twist for gas or push?
Twist.
Twist?
Yeah, like a motorcycle.
And then how does the brake work?
Push.
Okay, so twisting is gas and braking is push. Awesome. Well, we love to see you out there. We're glad you're having a good time. We'll catch you again when there's a little more daylight so we can see your car a little bit better, but it's a pleasure to have you. Will we see you at STPR?
Depending on our non-existing budget.
Depending on the non-existing and ever-shriveling budget of a lot of the teams a little bit further down the order, hopefully we do see you at STPR. It would be our pleasure.
Thank you.
You got it. Good night. All right. Awesome. That's cool. Hi. Let's see what time it is. It is, I can't see the time. It's 6:30. Pardon me while we have a little discussion of how much time we've got to hang out here at the service area. It's 6:30. I'm talking to you. We should, okay. We should probably get this loading and get on the road to get set up and stuff. All right, you want to find a lit spot to do a little sayonara? How about this?
Let's go see Verena real quick and then do that.
Okay. Verena, not in her car. Here's Ed. We get Ed's car leaving. Woohoo! One-eyed monster. Awesome. Like I said, you can you can sustain quite a bit of body damage, and as long as the tires are pointing the same way, you can do quite well. Pardon me as it gets cold out here. I lose my words a bit. We're going to look for Verena and see if we can get a quick couple words with her. Dave, have you seen Verena around?
She was here. I don't know where. She was looking at Ed's car, and I don't know where she went.
Okay. We'll hang out here and see if we can find Verena May to have a little word with and see how her rally's going. Sorry, I'm. Yeah. She's not there. Perhaps we'll catch her at the finish. Okay.
Good right there.
Yeah? Okay. So, thanks for joining us from the service area, the last service of 100 Acre Wood Rally. My name is Matthew Johnson, and I've been the one hosting the program the whole time for you. We're going to try to interview a lot more drivers at the finish of the event and let them sum up their experience here. Like I've been saying the whole time, this is one of the most fun events of the Rally America National Championship. It's a really fast one, and there's Verena. Hey, sweet, right in the middle of my clothes? That's perfect.
How's it going?
Let's get over here in front of her car. What's happening?
You know, 2 more stages to go Saturday night, and you know, we're running good. Everything's going well.
Happy to hear that. Did you get a look at Ed's car? Did you learn anything from Ed?
Well, I don't know the whole story, how he rolled it or where he rolled. I just pulled in. You know, I have a limited time for service. I checked it out, made sure he and Oli were okay, and the crew had it handled. So I need to grab a bite to eat and make sure I'm ready for the next 2 stages. And, you know, we have a great crew here at Team O'Neill and TrueCar, so.
Awesome. Nice to see you. We wish you luck. We'll see you in Salem in a little while.
Awesome.
All right, keep having fun. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, it's time for your drivers to be eating and making sure they're ready to make it through these last couple stages. So, once again, Matthew Johnson here signing off from the last service of 100 Acre Wood Rally. We'll see you next, downtown Salem, live streaming. Thanks for joining us.